Welcome back. September recognized as Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and when a child is diagnosed with cancer, you may not always know how to comfort and support the family, or you might not ever. Joining me this morning is Riley Children's Health Pediatric Oncology Social Worker Michelle Hoffman, and you have some ways that people can really reach out and help and be able to do that in a really positive way, because we don't always know what to say, and sometimes we can say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
right?
Sometimes as adults, so we worry too much about saying the wrong thing that we don't say anything. And that can be one of the biggest mistakes that we make, of being silent. Silence can make families feel very isolated and alone. So what is helpful instead is to acknowledge awareness of the diagnosis and how that might be impacting them or their family, to keep the focus on them and not somebody else you may know going through cancer. And to be respectful and understanding of how much or little they choose to share with you.
You mentioned that. Is that something that kind of we tend to do? Oh, well, I know someone going through the same thing. Is that a big thing that we do?
Yes, and pediatric cancer is very different than an adult going through cancer because of the ripple effect and how it impacts the whole family. So it's not always very helpful to share those.
When it's your child, and at that point, I'm sure you don't want to really hear a lot about, I don't know, a lot of different things. But let's talk about the specific then. Maybe you have someone in your classroom, maybe there's a parent that is trying to help their child understand what another child or another family is going through. Where do we start there with, what do we tell a child, or what's some good things to know?
About telling a child?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the idea is to keep it clear, simple, and be honest with what you share with them. You only have to answer the questions that they are asking. You want to be mindful, of course, of their developmental level. And it's okay to say things like, I don't know, and it's okay to show emotion too.
I think that, specifically the question was, to without a friend and a classmate, if you're going into, a scenario with your child, what do you tell them about maybe their classmate? And being helpful to that. How can a family member go through that, they're going through it, with the family, friends, and neighbors, and how can someone help and talk to them? Yeah,
there's a few suggestions I had that families over the years have shared with me, things that we can do that are helpful to them. One would be offering verbal or written words of encouragement. That could be a simple text message, email, voicemail, card in the mail. It could be just offering a listening ear for a few minutes, walking up at a sporting event, or checking in with a coworker during a lunch break. Parents need to vent sometimes, and just showing support that way. The second idea is to offer financial assistance if able. That could be contributing towards a GoFundMe campaign or a fundraiser, purchasing a gift card to a restaurant, gas station, or grocery store can be big blessings. And then the second thing is to think about acts of service, or ways that you could maybe offer your help, instead of just saying a generic, I'm here if you ever need anything, or let me know.
Cut the grass on Monday.
Let me know what I can do. Parents are so stressed and overwhelmed, and it takes some mental energy to think through what they might need, and sometimes they don't even know how to anticipate that. So yes, thinking through, can I mow their grass? Can I let their dog out when their child's in the hospital? Can I pick up a sibling and take to them from a sports practice? Could I babysit? Or can I bring a meal and say, next week, what day is best for you? I'd love to bring something over.
I'm going to bring something next week. What day is best? Can I just leave it on the porch in a cooler? Is it going to be okay? Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and again, an important topic to be talking about, especially this month when we should be thinking about it. Some of the additional resources we'll have too at fox59.com. You can find that /links is where you'll get that information about some of those Little Red Door, Indiana Oncology Summer Camps, and again, more information on social workers. Amber, that'll be there for folks